At the twilight's last gleaming, whose rough stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bursting in air came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. President-elect Dana Broadway will bring our invocation.
Pray with me. Father, thank you for this food and for those who prepared it for us. I pledge to appreciate those who serve us on a weekly basis. We also thank you for others who serve us, such as police and law enforcement, fire and rescue, our medical community, and servicemen and women around the world. Bless us and give us the humility to serve each other and our community effectively. Amen. Yeah, you can sit down. We'd like to welcome our guests, President Moore and guest Sabrina Moore. Emily Hanahosa, guest of Curtis Town, and Jerry Lynn Jones, guest of Hayden Hall. Thank you, and welcome to Rotary.
Next, we will have introductions of our student guests from China Spring High School, brought by Larry McCall, our chairman of student guest committee.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see everyone. It's lovely weather outside. I think it will happen down, but I'm going to introduce you two talented students from China Spring High School. First of all, I want to tell you who is here with them. We have Megan Harvey, who is a counselor. We have Jamie Beal, who is a counselor. And we also have the principal, Dr. Rutherford, who also is the dad of Mabry. So I asked her if it was difficult. She said yes. So I think I have the honor of introducing each young ladies and what they're going to be doing in their future. Today I have Lynn Wu. Lynn is at China Spring High School, and her parents unfortunately were able to come today. But currently, with her school activities, she's in the National Honor Society. She's worked with the peer assistance and leadership programs to spread about the Chinese and Asian culture and their interests. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about herself as well as her community, activities, and also her future plans and goals.
Hello, I'm going to start with my future goals. I'll be starting at GWAMA in the fall. From there, I'll be majoring in computer science, and hopefully I'll be able to go major in engineering something in my undergraduate years. And within my career activities, I was most active with volunteering for the College Leadership Program, where it was going to different campuses and mentoring villages. My mentor, she matched me in some with the academic assistant. And recently I joined the Asian Leadership Network with helping them run the Lunar New Year Market that recently downtown and became one of the entry board members. Also, there was a reflection that we attended. the wall, so.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next, I have the honor of introducing Mabry Weatherford, who also goes to China Spring High School. Her parents are Jan Weatherford and Max Weatherford, who is also the principal at China Spring High School. Some of her school activities is National Honor Society and UIL academics, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about, I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about her community activities and her future plans. Hi, I've also participated in a peer assistant leadership program where I got to go and see younger students every day and help them. And I'm a member of St. Louis Catholic Church. And I also worked for over a year at a after-school program for younger kids in the district. And I'll be attending the University of Oklahoma majoring in business. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next on our program, we are going to celebrate Rotarians with Mark's birthday. So when I call your name, if you'll stand up, we will serenade you with a happy birthday song. We have Kathy Averett, her birthday is the 24th. Maggie Bounds is the 21st. Larry Carpenter is March 10th. Bill Deeks is the 28th. Betty Edwards, the 21st. Mary Fidel was the 10th. Katie Fuller, the 15th. Rodney Kroll, the 7th. Addis McNamara, the 14th. Kathy Schroeder, the 31st. Richard Skovic, the 8th. Jill Smith is on the 22nd. That one's kind of significant. John Spellman is the 1st. Ted Teague, the 25th. And Eddie Willis on the 26th.
Mr. Reed, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Next, we'll have Chairman David Seacal with the foundation to present a Paul Harris Fellow Award.
Well, I'm sure hopeful that David Willie is here. David, are you here? I haven't seen him come in. But we're going to recognize him in absentia. As you know, the arm of the charity arm of Rotary is the Rotary Foundation. And we give individually and collectively to the foundation. And I am the chairman from our club of the foundation committee. So let me give you just a couple of facts to review about the foundation. First of all, it's considered a four-star charity because over 95% of the funds that we give to the foundation actually go out the door to the recipients and the programs that we sponsor for the foundation. There's very little administrative cost, and that is, I think, significant. It certainly makes a difference for me in my giving. One of the main things that the foundation does, as you should know, is it funds the efforts to eradicate polio worldwide. As a result, since 1983, the Rotary Foundation has, let's see if I can get this figure right, has given what do you guess? $1 million, yeah. $3.1 billion. $3.1 billion to the eradication of polio. We had a huge matching grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation a few years ago. Where is polio today? It has been eliminated on the continent of Africa. It has been eliminated everywhere in the world except two countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan. And it still exists there, and because of the efforts of Rotary Foundation, it has been eradicated worldwide everywhere else. And they continue to focus to get to that point where this stubborn virus has been eliminated worldwide. Your dollars that go to your voluntary contribution to the foundation goes to that effort as well as many other worthwhile worldwide efforts from the Rotary Foundation. Paul Harris, the founder of Rotary. In honor of Paul Harris, we recognize those that donate, members of our club and members of clubs worldwide, are given a Paul Harris Fellowship every time that they donate at least $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And in recognition of that donation, those foundation members are allowed or given a pin to wear. It's called a Paul Harris pin. Many of you already have one. You should wear it with pride to your meetings today. I got out the door without mine today. David Willie is a multiple recipient. After you get your first Paul Harris pin, you can get a Paul Harris +1 in recognition that you're given $2,000. You can get a Paul Harris +2, and so on and so forth. Today, if you were here and in his absentia, it would be my pleasure to give David Willie a Paul Harris +7 pin. And you can come by and look at it, but it's a Paul Harris pin with not only one but 2 rubies on it. So hopefully, I'll see him soon. We'll be able to give that to him. In the meantime, when you see David, thank him for his contribution. And anyone you see wearing one of these pins, thank them for their contribution. And those of you that haven't, wear it with pride. And thank you for your contributions to the foundation.
This medallion that I'm wearing, when I achieved my first Paul Harris Fellow, this is what I got, and a pin. And so I like to wear it around Rotarians because they probably recognize Paul Harris. Otherwise, people really don't know what it's all about. So, very special. Today we have our ballots for a nomination to the Board of Directors. We have one vacancy that needs to be filled. The term will begin in July. And so we've made up ballots, and we hope that you will take the time to, we have one nominee. You can write in a second nominee, but make a choice and make a vote. The next opportunity will be at our final meeting this month, and then we'll close the election, and then we'll make the announcement. So today kind of shows you what we do when we say we have this DAP grant, which David can tell you, and so can Dana now, that the money you give to the foundation in a Rotary year, which is June through July, I guess, yeah. All the money our club gives collectively is reported to our district, and the district takes all the funds from all the clubs who gave to the Paul Harris Fellow, and they make that money come back to the clubs in the form of a DAP grant. And several years ago, this club decided that any monies we got in a DAP grant would go to a literacy program. So today is the celebration of almost completing our DAP grant literacy program for this year. You'll see in the back all those books stacked up. Well, the DAP grant paid for those books. We want you to stick around and put our stickers in them. And eventually, we're going to deliver them to our guest speaker today, and you'll be excited to know why we chose that particular organization. So with that, we'll have him Nubu, who is chairman of the Literacy Committee, bring our program and our guests.
Our guest today is Dale McCall, who was born in Orange, Texas, one of 10 children. He attended Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas, and obtained a BS degree in science, working his way through school as a pipe fitter. Is that correct?
That's correct.
He then attended the University of Texas Health Science Centers in San Antonio. After graduating from dental school, he established a general dentistry practice in Belmead, where he practiced for 27 years. After retiring from his dental practice in 2010, because of medical issues, he began working at TSTC as a dental assistant instructor. He obtained a master's degree in education while teaching dental assisting, and then began to work in the instructional administration. Some long words. At TSTC until 2016. In the spring of 2016, Dr. McCall accepted a position at WISD, working with the GWAMA and GWAMA programs, and since 2018 has been the Dean of GWAMA. At GWAMA, Dr. McCall oversees 4 CTE, academics, architecture and CAD, instruction science, electronics and robotics, and welding. The GWAMA academics continue to grow and offer workforce training presently for over 300 students in Waco ISD and 7 other area district students. Please welcome Dr. Dean McCall.
Thank you for that. I told you I'm not a very interesting guy, really, as my wife and my 2 children can attest to. But this is not about me. Anytime I talk about GWAMA, it's not about me. It's about Waco ISD and the community, because that's what formed GWAMA, which is the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy. Over 10 years ago, really over 11 or 12 years ago, there was a dream among a lot of industry people, and the CTE director at that time at WIC was Don McCaffin, about forming an entity that would prepare students for the workforce. And that's what we did at GWAMA. And soon, at a meeting, someone from, I think it was Hillcrest Hospital, stood up and said, we want a healthcare, so we did GWAMA too, which is the healthcare side of the area. And so what GWAMA does is present, and I'm about to show a slide presentation, which is our sort of our recruiting presentation for area schools. But I just can't tell you how excited I am about the books. I'm an avid reader. I really wasn't much of a reader once I got out of dental school, because I was so tired of reading dental books. And I'll tell you, students, you'll get that way too. Okay, but we always stay a reader. And but I'm an avid reader now. I probably read 2-3 books a month. Now that's not much for my wife; she'll do that in a week. But for me, that's a lot of reading. And the reason I left dentistry was most of the vision in my left eye was lost due to a tumor. And so it's not very good for me as a dentist to ask you when to stop when I'm doing I left dentistry and then went into education. I love teaching. I love the teaching part of education at TSTC, when I would take a student and be able to open that and show them. And then I made the mistake of going into administration, and you lose that ability to teach. And for many of those days that I could sit in the classroom and work with a student, I just enjoyed that, because I love working with the students of our districts and our out-of-district partners that we have. But we are a workforce entity at GWAMA. And what we do is try to instill in students what it means to have a job. And then we'll get to the part about a career after that. But you got to learn to have a job first. And your job is you go to work and you do what you know to do, and you do what they tell you to do. And you do it as well as you can. And the next day you get up and you do it again. And eventually, if they see that you have not only the aptitude, but the attitude of wanting to be there, they'll move that further into a career. So, yeah, we teach welding, and we do a little bit of construction science and architecture and CAD and robotics, and we're changing a little bit next year, as you'll see in a moment here, with what we're doing for the program next year. Correct. So this entity formed with a lot of donations from business people, and some in this room, some that have helped us a year ago celebrate 10 years. We're now in our 11th year at GWAMA. And not only do we teach our students the academy courses they also have their science and math at GWAMA. So it's a half-day program. Students come a half day, then they go back to their campus, and they get the rest of their educational needs at that point. They start their sophomore year, if they choose that at GWAMA. We have them sophomore, junior, and senior year. Once we get to that point, and I know that this is why I'm going to move this mic, and excuse me for my voice. I got to walk around. I want to see what I'm talking about too. I did do this presentation, so I know what's on it. So we started in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And for me, it's really easy to sell welding. Kids think they know what welding is. So that hot slack pops on their arm and runs down their leg. They have a little burn, and you got to don't taste it, it's ready to do its work. And we do it with the robotics and architecture and CAD. Construction, we actually teach, our view is to teach a kid what it means to build a home. What it takes to understand all the processes that goes into building a home. We work very closely with our local industry partners, not only in the welding area, but also in construction. Many of those men and women sit on my executive board, and we meet each month, and we discuss what's going on at GWAMA. Welding is our largest program. Probably 85% of our kids are in welding. Of the 270 that I have now, 80% of those are in welding. So this is the work environment. We tell the students, this is how you'll work. This is what you will do as you work. And you'll be we provide all protective wear, eyewear, safety shoes, hood, all the supplies, and they weld. The expectation is they will weld probably 75 to 80% of the class time. They will be in the shop working. So we will burn through a lot of runs. And that is what the kids need, because it's repetition. And I talked to the students, I said, when I was a dentist, I didn't know how to do a crown crack the first time. It took me multiple times to learn how to go around a tooth to do a crown crack. Same thing with welding. It's a hand skill that you learn. It's a hand-eye coordination that you've got to learn. This is what they'll learn though. These are the learning expectations we have for every one of our students going out of our welding program. And we teach industrial welding, the same welding called at TSCC. We have dual credit for our students, the availability in their junior or senior year to take TSCC dual credit. Waco ISD, if you're a Waco ISD student, Waco ISD pays for that dual credit, so no fee for the student. They can come out of my program with 14 hours of dual credit going into TSCC if they choose. So we're doing all processes, MIG, TIG, stick, oxyacetylene, plasma cutter. We have a plasma cutter. They do learn the CAD program on how to do the CAD program on plasma cutter. My first year welding instructor is Bart Slar. Both my instructors are credentialed by TSCC. We do no credit with TSCC. He right now has, at the end of December, had 35% of his class that did their first certification. These are kids, most of them, who never walked in and never knew what a welding rod was when they came in. And in 3 months, 35% of them have the certification in welding. This is just the curriculum they do. So we do OSHA training. They get OSHA 10 certification out of this. in the intro welding, and then they have science and math. That whatever science and math they are needing at that point, we teach over at GWAMA for them to have. Mr. Laura. Hey again, Laura. Second year, third year, and dual credit. Some of his classes are stacked. Sometimes he has a second and third year group that are non-dual credit stacked. He can't stack the dual credit with non-dual credit students. This is what his curriculum is. So you can see there's a little difference between the non-dual credit and the dual credit. The dual credit kids are taking the exact same semester speed as they're taking at TSCC. So it's a much more fast-paced learning that they have to be able to do at dual credit in the welding area. The third year. A lot of the non-dual credit kids, I don't say non-dual credit kids, they're taught the same as the dual credit kids. They just don't, they're not enrolled in a TSCC course, but they're taught the same skill sets. So we want our students to know what's going on at the availability to go into the job workforce or the TSCC. I was telling someone earlier, when I first came to GWAMA, about 80% of the kids at GWAMA were going to a four-year college. Now it's about 70% of the kids are going directly to the workforce. That's really what the focus of GWAMA was to prepare kids for the workforce. Now that doesn't mean they won't go to TSCC, or it doesn't mean that they don't go to TSCC at the same time they're working a job. But they have the ability to do that. They have AWS certifications. We do it, train them, seniors on forklift driving. Equipment Depot gave us this certification. It is not a magic list certification from the TEA, but we have our kids learn how to drive a forklift because I have students that have graduated from GWAMA that are doing that as a job. They're in a large area, they're working forklift. And then we want them to know our industry partners. And that's the one thing I have with my board that is very positive is my board is very active at GWAMA and my industry partners want to meet my kids. And so we'll have a workforce day and we'll also have a job fair. So those kids, if they choose, they can walk out before they're leaving their high school, off their high school stage of the job. Here's some of the careers in welding. Quote from President Barack Obama. And you saw President Biden speak, he talked about workforce training. Folks can make a lot more by learning a trade than they might be by having a history degree. I have no problem with college degrees. I mean, I have 3 of them. And I have a sister who has 4. And she teaches college. But out of the 10 of us, there's the only 2 from my family that has college degrees. All I just never talked about it in my family. My dad was an electrician. My mom never worked out of the house. She worked, but she never worked out of the house. 10 kids, she working every day. I look back at what my dad and my mom did, and I'm amazed. I have 2 children. And I have way above average income compared to my dad's income. And I think, how did y'all do it? How did y'all do it? Some of the welding jobs and some of the salaries. We had a student that 3 years ago graduated from GWAMA working on building chemical plants in Corpus Christi is making about $185,000 a year. He's a 22-year-old kid with a high school degree. And he works hard. Construction science. Our goal at construction science is to teach the students what it takes to build a house. We also do a little bit more into the construction side on this sort of home side. This is what they're going to learn in construction science. This is the expectation from the that we teach in high school that they will learn in construction science. Every bit of their supplies, every bit of their work stuff that they need is supplied by GWAMA. The students in the district and out of the district pay a fee of $3,800. Their school does, and the students, the school does, to come to GWAMA. The $3,800 covers all of my supplies that I have to run the campus with, and all of their testing, everything the student doesn't pay for a single thing else when they come. Here's what they learned. And was Maggie here today? Maggie's been really pushing me about doing more masonry, and I agree with her. And we're going to do that in our second year now. The second year, we're going to do 1 6 weeks, we'll do masonry only. Maggie Bounds is going to be supplying every bit of my supplies, every bit of the tools I need, everything that we have for our kids. He's already dedicated. He's going to include an instructor for me during that 6 weeks. But I will not even have to say. Mrs. Novoside is our instructor. She is a board certified. She is a trade electrician. She is a master electrician. I love that. It's women, in fact, in that place. And I have less than 10% of women at GWAMA. I want to move it as high as I can. And I've got a maintenance head at WSD that's pushing me to have more women in my courses, and I'm pushing it too, because I know what it takes for women to get ahead. I lived with 7 sisters. I had a son one time that I had 4 older sisters and 3 younger sisters, and I have an older brother and a younger brother. But I had a son one time that said, "Dad, I'm working construction, but you're paying my daughter, Anna, the same money I'm making, and she's working in your office in this air conditioning." I said, "I know, but she has a harder time getting a job than you do. You can go get a job. Scott Pierce is hiring. But you go get a job. You need to sweat. You don't need to. She's going to get paid what she gets paid." So I love the fact that I have women seeing women in positions like that. This is the whole year of the construction science. We are also working on slow process than I wanted to be, but getting a tiny home built so that we can actually take it around to area shows and have that done. They also get forklift as a senior. They have OSHA 10 to do tiny home construction. Skills USA is what VIPA used to be if you're my age, getting close to the 70 year. Closer than I'd like to think here, but 7 years. But what we used to do, and they get the NCCR Core Level 1, the certification. All of the students will get an industry-based certification. And there are opportunities. These kids can go get a job and do part-time at TSCC, because a lot of the courses now are online, and be able to get an AES degree in construction science. And this is just some of the cost estimates of the job that they're doing. This is taken from the local workforce. So this is our new program. It's unmanned aerial vehicle robotics. We are no longer going to have drafting or architecture and drafting. We basically were a drafting program, and we all do a CAD type program in all of our academies, so we're blending that all together. Unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, is a big thing in the state. And if you'll look at in Google, Dallas is expected to have close to 150,000 new jobs, paying around $65,000 to $85,000 a year for unmanned aerial vehicle drone operators. It's not just Amazon, but that's part of it. But they will do robotics the first and second year, and they will be part of the unmanned aerial vehicle, the drone program. Drones are an exciting time. I'm hoping we'll get more and more kids wanting to learn. These will get a Part 107 FAA license. So you can ride your drone over 400 feet. Anything over 400 feet, you have to have a license to fly. Mr. Rizzo is a robotics instructor. Has been there over 10 years. And this is what we teach in year 1. It's just a curriculum area. We have a industry-based sim cell that we were provided grant money with, not only from Caterpillar, but also from Howmet Industries. And we still have that. These kids will still work with that. And they'll program robots. It looks like a little racetrack. And it goes around the track and we make a part of it. And so these students will program these robots to do this. It has robots at 4 different sites. We even have a welding station there. It's a very, very cool area for us to look at. I will have students coming in that work on this and we didn't have this in college. We didn't have anything like this in college. So it is very big for us in the state to have. And drone piloting, well, I hope will be a very big draw for us at school. The kids are very excited about it. Not only about the robotic part, they still love working with the robots and doing robotic competitions. But being able to fly a drone is, especially one that is about 3.5, 4 feet across, that's exciting. And post-secondary opportunities. A lot of these kids are robotics, some are engineering kids, they're going to engineering programs in the state. And these are some of the jobs available for them. And I have some students that will go over to TSCC and go into the robotics or the computer area. And this is our new saying that we started about a year ago. It's working to learn and learning to work. And that's what we do at GWAMA. And I am very proud of what our kids do at GWAMA. I'm very proud of what we do. I do want to perform, and I can't let them go. I'm the superintendent of my school. Is she leaving?
Just left.
She just left. Okay, Dr. Buchanan was here. But Lisa Saxini is the CT director now at WSD. Is part of this. I'm so grateful for the books, for everything that y'all have provided us. I look across here and I see industry people that have been very, very, very important at GWAMA. And very, very important in all the area schools. And I cannot tell you how thankful I am that you're involved in this area with us, because our kids need not only reading material, but they need you. They need to see successful industry partners and people in the schools, because they model that at that time. They don't really want to look at their principals and say, oh, well, I want to be a principal, or I want to be a dean. Okay? And I'm not a principal. So that's your principal's heart. I'm not that, okay? And we don't do any testing, EOC testing at GWAMA, and I tell all my principals, bless my heart about that. I'm so sorry. But I'm excited about what the future lies for GWAMA, and I can tell you that as long as y'all keep doing what y'all are doing, you make such an impact for the lives of students at WSD and those beyond. So thank you. So how many questions? Go ahead.
Did you say how many high schools are bringing kids in?
Right now, both my schools at Waco High, the University of Waco High, I have Troy, Children, Ridgefield Eddy, Methodist Children Home, and Midway. Right now, students are here.
And then what is the approval process? Could just any kid come? Do they have to meet certain qualifications?
There's not. I mean, I just want kids to come to school. And I have a lot of kids that maybe have a little bit more of a local background than others, but I don't have problems at all. The kids are there for a reason. The very few kids who get over to GWAMA who don't really like it, we move them back to their high school as quickly as we can to help them. I'm not there to hinder a kid's education process. I want them to have what they can get. It's really just talking to your high school counselor and see if they're going to be involved in GWAMA, and then proceeding forth and just signing up for that so you can come. Out-of-district students are there in the morning. All of my out-of-district kids are primarily morning kids. I have 2 midway kids who come in the afternoon. They drive themselves. But that's how it works, just a half-day program. Yeah, it's if you've got, especially, again, welding is such a big draw because kids think they know what welding is. And I love the females coming into the welding because probably 2/3 of my female population are welding students. And they come from the artistic side. And they really, we just did a lot of flower arrangements and roses and things like that for our 10-year anniversary. And our kids are very, very talented in doing that, but you can tell when a girl does it versus when a boy does it. It's just different. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I'm an architect, and I'm part of a team that's going to be doing a comprehensive facility study of the alleyway inside and out. And there are parts of the building on the exterior that we can't get to. And I'm not about to try to rappel down the side. But one of the team members, one of the companies, has drones that they use to photograph and record areas of things that you can't see otherwise. You currently have the drone robotics program?
I have robotics, there's no drones right now. That's next year. We're starting the drones next
So
year.
you don't have any students. Where I was going with this was when we do this, if you had students that we could invite to come out and watch, that are interested in that particular.
I love that. I love that.
I'm speaking for another member of the team that would be their decision ultimately. But if we invited some students out to witness that part of the study, I think you'd find it very interesting.
And we make that happen for students, yes.
Okay, well, I'll see what the other team members are willing to do, but if that's a possibility, we'll have them contact you.
That'd be great, thank you. I know there was another here. Yes, sir.
Thank you, first of all, for a great program. Well, is there any plan to expand to other parts of the state, or are there other organizations that do the same thing in other parts of the state?
You know, when GWAMA started, it was one of probably only 2 or 3 programs like it in the state, because it took in, the premise of it was that it would be open to every student in Clinton County and beyond. What has happened from the standpoint of, I would say more politically, CTE funding is now, as a junior senior, you're getting almost 1.5 times your average daily attendance if you're in a CTE course, in a junior senior level CTE course. Now, think about that as a superintendent or a principal. You're getting, as that student coming in your junior senior year, that kid's bringing in for you as a school district 1.47 the normal average daily attendance time. So that's more money brought into the school district. So after that happened, it was House Bill 5. After that happened, a couple of the school districts that we had very large support from built their own welding facilities. There are very few other high schools that I know that are working like we're working. There have been some coalitions. I know that even Region 12 is working right now with a coalition of high schools working, 3 different high schools doing different areas of CTE. So if you have a student that needs, say, welding, you're at this school. If you need a student that needs maybe construction, you're over here at this school because they have the facilities for that. The GWAMA facilities were, it's J.J. Llewellyn, the old North Miller Elementary School. The district came in after about a year and a half, no, a little over a year, and built a $1.5 million shop. So I have a huge shop. It's a very expensive program to run for a high school or a district to commit to. But as you saw, Midway now has a brand new CTE building. I know China Creek is doing more CTE, and so the more that you can offer for a student doing that, it's great for your area, and so that's drawing now more students back to their own high schools from what we're seeing at GWAMA. I have less than 30 out-of-district students. The rest of them are McCall ISD students. I used to have 65 to 80. But as they are there, they're not spending the fee to GWAMA, and they're keeping the fee staying at their home ISD. And so there's a reason for that. It is what it is. It's just the way funding has become. And I don't have any problems with any of their high schools doing that. It's just that that's just the nature of the beast of what we're working at. I don't know of any others. There was one in East Texas that started up a little bit after we started. They came over and worked with us a little bit. I don't know of very many other high schools that are doing it the way that we're doing it, the model that we're doing it. When a student is brought over from Troy to WISD, all of the WISD instructors at GWAMA are listed as Troy instructors. So the Troy gets the CTE funding back to Troy. So WISD is not keeping any of the CTE funding that is generated by that student. That's a whole different world to open up school financing doing that. But there is still a fee that they're being charged to come to GWAMA, the $3,800 that they have to take out of what they do that for CTE. I'd love to have more high schools there. I'd love to have more students just with the availability. I know that we work quite a bit with La Vega. We're very close to La Vega High School. And Midway does the same thing. If there's students, they have an overflow of students who are in welding and they can't manage that, they send them to GWAMA and we teach them there. With La Vega, they do the same thing. If they can't get dual credit at the school with the schedules, they send them to GWAMA because we do dual credit with TSTC. So that's just the way we work with all the high schools around this area. But I couldn't tell you by name any other entity that works like we work.
Thank you so much for being here. A great program. So we're going to leave some time so that you all will complete our exercise out there. Get your stickers in those books, and at a later date we'll deliver them and hopefully meet some of the students and complete our literacy program for this year. I want to re-welcome the student guests and their assistants that came today to Rotary. Good luck to you. We hope to see you again. Think about Rotary when you're out in the big world. We do good things and pay it back. There you go. Just be a Rotarian. I want to thank the Rotarians that helped today, both with registration and transportation of the books from the Rotary office to the Lee Lockwood Library. And if anybody wants to help pack them up and help us get them back over to the Rotary office after this experience and experiment today, I would appreciate that. Our next meeting is March the 25th, and that is our Youth Citizenship Awards Luncheon. We'll be meeting downstairs, and I want to thank all of those who stepped up to sponsor one of those tables. Our project is complete. We'll have a very successful luncheon. You'll get to meet another student sometime spring who made the 5 finalists, and so we look forward to that. It's always one of my favorite events, and a very impressive thing that we do for our community. Now if you'll stand for the 4-way test. Business.